Welcome to TYL Chats with the Yogi Laurens, and we are here to transform your life. I'm Lauren A.
I'm Lauren F.
And we've been best friends forever, so we are just here to keep going with these chats and give you guys advice of things that help us off our mats. We talk a lot, inspirational stuff in yoga, and we want to do these talks, different topics, to help you transform your life off your mat. So today's talk is on why challenging yourself is important.
Yes. So it's huge.
Looking at Lauren.
That means I need to talk.
Right? But I think now is the time that we're trying to think of relevant topics, and I think that now is the time that we all should be challenging ourselves. We're all going through so much change, and we just finished our first boot camp class together, and we thought this was the perfect time to do it because we had 30 people sign up for this group. They all challenged themselves, crushed it, and we're just full of inspiration of challenges that bring on good changes.
Exactly, and that in that fact, it's like that was our first program we've ever run, and that in itself is a challenge. Like brings you to the next level, different elements of building a program, which is crazy fun but crazy hard at the same time. And there's good days and there's always going to be like hard times as well, but you learn from both the good and the bad.
Yeah. So if you feel like you're kind of in a funk right now, maybe feel like you where did the last few months go? Where do I see my life going? We want you to find a challenge. Like find something that's going to be hard. Like something maybe, you've been thinking about in the back of your mind. Physical, mental, doesn't have to be, a crazy thing, but something that's maybe going to change your life a little bit. And maybe as we talk today, you may pick up a few pointers on how to do that. Or how do you break it down into smaller steps so it may not seem so overwhelming? Because honestly, sometimes, we aren't going to go and just magically run a marathon tomorrow, right? It's
climb Mount Everest.
I was going to say that. But then I thought that was a little extreme, but whatever, right? But we, telepathic. Here.
Right?
Literally. Same name, same thoughts. Yeah.
It's real.
It is real.
Same crystals,
By the way, crystals, get them. Can we represent this lady on here?
Yes, Sphinx Crystals Therapy on Etsy. She's amazing. Great crystals.
Yes, if you're looking to embrace change, block out all those negative thoughts, BS blocker here to help you challenge yourself and get rid of all those BS thoughts that tell you you can't.
Exactly.
Because you can. Okay, so let's get back to business here. So we as a whole, our whole entire brand vibe is about transforming your life. Physically, mentally, all combined, kind of a mind-body connection here. And that is how we designed our program. So I guess since we are talking about challenges now, we'll start by just going into our program of how this bootcamp Summer Sweat Challenge is helping to transform all these people's lives. And it's just been so fun to see and be a part of that whole transformation.
Yeah, exactly.
So physically wise, we created this 4-week boot camp, and it has all different types of yoga workouts that can challenge your mind and your body in all different ways. So we have yoga HIIT, yoga boot camp, yoga sculpt, yoga strength, yoga flow, options to up level.
Yeah, core, booty, cardio. There's so much intertwined into one that you're going to be challenged in some facet. You might be good at cardio, but then you come to strength, like myself, and it crushes me, So there's going to be elements of it that will just make you up level your life, because that's what challenges do. They make you grow, they make you transform. And if we always do the things we like, if we always choose to take the easy way out and we never push ourselves out of our comfort zone, we will stay exactly where we are.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we had 30 people sign up for this group, Facebook support group, and they'll introduce each other. And at the end, we're getting all these surveys back. We've had people who it's so fun to hear. I wasn't even able to do a burpee, and now I can do them for a full minute. I never thought I could do that. Or being able to hold a balancing pose for longer than they ever thought they could.
Exactly.
People who weren't even into yoga now, it's now part of their everyday life. So physically wise, if you're looking for a challenge, a group, find a support group, find accountability, and maybe that's all you need to get the little push. Because we have people who are already on round 2 of this already, ready to go, second round, and that's where you keep seeing results, right? You're never going to see results for challenging yourself for like a few days. It's got to be a commitment. It's got to be long term.
And it has to be consistent. You got to stick with it. As hard as it is, you have to show up for yourself every single day.
Yes. So physically wise, start to move your body, do something that's hard, do something that maybe you don't think you can do. We're not going to be able to do it right away, but maybe, let's relate this to burpees, right? Because that's what I brought up. You maybe can't do one. You start by modifying, step it back. Watch one of our videos. We modify on them. Or then maybe you try to do 2, 3, 4, whole minute, right? I don't know. Maybe you can keep doing them forever. Maybe you do.
Nobody wants to do burpees forever. That's facts.
I don't. But break it into chunks. Okay. Mental challenges of our group. We had everybody journal, write down what they're grateful for, breath work, meditation. And I think the connection really was helpful.
Oh yeah, intertwining the two, because relating yourself physically to mentally, this the whole mind-body connection, is where the growth really happens. It's where like you really start to come into your own and realize more about yourself, more about what you're capable of, and that also allows you just to get rid of the shit you do not need anymore, the stuff that you don't even realize you're holding on to. But in order to do that, you have to take a step back and look within. Instead of looking at everything externally, the situations, what people say, what people think, you gotta go within. And that's something that people don't do. And it's hard to do.
Mental challenges are often so much harder than physical stuff.
Yes.
So, I think if we were to have started just a meditation group, we may have had like one person.
If that. It would have been us.
Yeah.
It would have been us.
Right? Just telling each other, calling each other, did you meditate? Yep.
Yeah.
Did you? Yep. But
because it's very difficult to get into, because it's hard for people to slow down and not go within. So we start with journaling, because journaling is a little bit easier, and then we go into focused breath meditation a little bit later, and people go up and down with it because it's the easiest thing to drop. It's the easiest thing to be like, oh, I'm not going to do that, when it's the easiest thing to do. Yes. People would rather go run like 20 miles because they don't have to go within. Take that challenge over meditating for 5 minutes. For sure.
Hey, that can be harder. This stuff isn't easy, but combining the two is where you're going to really start to see the transformation. So that's why we're bringing it up, is challenge yourself mentally, challenge yourself physically, and that's where the results are going to come. But yeah, we have people loving the journal, writing down what they're grateful for, sharing it, and it's just really been a positive space to support each other, to challenge ourselves and change for the better over the past few months. So let's go into a little bit how we challenge ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think, we could just sit here and tell you guys, hey, we want a group, like, we just, tell people what to do. But personally, if I was listening to this, I would be like, all right, like, girl, you tell me what you're doing every day. Like, is this even real?
See it.
Right?
Put your money where your mouth is, biatch.
Right? We're all just talk. But no, as I'm like pointing to you like this. But I think, it's been a forever journey of, I think it all started physical challenges for me. I didn't even know what a mental challenge was, but I look back and, just between doing sports forever and challenging, and then running and working out, which became too much of competition. But physical challenge kind of got me more into the mental space and kind of just reminded me of I can do hard things, Physical challenge now I'm working on, signed up for a marathon. Never done one before. I used to be really into half marathons, but I stopped doing them because I just needed a break. I got tired and I was not really in a good, healthy space. I got really into running in college in high school when I had disordered eating, and I kind of associated it with that. So I got away from it, went more into yoga, and I just love fitness. I've developed a much more healthy relationship. And since this whole COVID-19 thing happened, it got me much more into running. And I realized, I'm strong enough to do this. I'm mentally strong enough. I'm going to fuel my body well. we're just gonna freaking go for it, and whether I can find a race or not, I'm gonna run 26.2 miles.
I'm gonna be at the end of it no matter where it is.
But it's been the best reminder, just not even for the physical aspects of just like doing something that's so hard that I don't think I can do and being so proud. I'm finding it's relating to other areas of my life. And like I said, I'm not going from thinking, you know, if I was to think I had to run it tomorrow, it would be really overwhelming. But just increasing it a little bit every week is, you know, making progress, going with it, and you guys can hold me to it now because I said it out loud.
You're gonna crush it.
I'm gonna freaking kill it.
Yeah, you're gonna have that mindset too. You're gonna tell yourself what you're
right. I do tell myself all the time. So eventually, you just start to believe it.
Exactly.
And what's physical challenge been for you, Law?
So I do all different types of stuff over the years. So I used to be a big runner. Then I was running forever, track, soccer, all of that stuff. Then I did rugby in college, which was also very challenging, but super fun. So fun.
I can't even play soccer. We'll tell you about that later.
Yeah. But now when I got into yoga, my challenges is basically picking something that I can't do. So if I couldn't do a crow, so then I would pick that one thing, that arm balance. That's how it started. I wanted to do a crow, and I practiced till I got that. From there was all the arm balances. Then it was headstand. Then it was forearm stand. Now I can't do a handstand. Well, I can but I want to hold it for like a minute solidly, straight up. So that's my next challenge. It's picking something that I can't do and working towards it. Also, back bends for me is something so hard. I feel like I'm gonna die in a back bend. Like I feel like I'm gonna die. So I make sure to do them like every day, because you have to do the things that are hard for you. I also do a lot of HIIT, things that push myself cardio-wise. I was doing spin for a while, and then I decided to be a spin instructor. That was a huge challenge over the past couple.
It's going to be every instructor there ever was.
Over the last couple of months, and like just getting yourself into these zones that make you feel uncomfortable. Like when you teach a class or when you are doing something and it's hard and it's uncomfortable and like you're not confident in yourself, that's challenging. But then you keep working on it, and then you start to see the results, and that's the most satisfying part. The first time I held my handstand for 10 seconds, I had a party for myself. I was just so excited, like, because I've been working on a handstand for, I don't know, a year and a half. Still not there. It's like
getting there.
It's definitely getting there.
Maybe that will be my next challenge. I don't know.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah. But it's just holding yourself to the accountability of wanting to transform and grow.
Yeah.
Of not settling and not being okay with being average. Because you're not. People are not average. You have a path. You're meant to be something exceptional. So follow that path.
Yeah. So I know we've kind of gone like all over the place in this thing. But we hope you get the point that challenging yourself is important. And I guess I want them to know too that you don't always have to challenge yourself, right? Like it's okay sometimes to soak up the benefits and chill and let it be.
Mm-hmm. Self-care is huge.
Yeah, like not every day you have to be accomplishing something cool or awesome or hard, right? Maybe there's months or days, or maybe the past few months have not been your best months. That's okay. But if you feel in your rut, you feel like you're capable of more, you don't know where to start to transform your life, find a challenge. It's important. It's going to change your mindset. Mm-hmm. So at the end of this talk, right, I want you to sit down, write down a couple of things maybe you think you'd be interested in doing, maybe they're hard for you, and then go through it and pick one.
Yes.
Pick one. Start to think of the physical things you need to do to get there, but to stick with it, that's where the mental part comes in. We can start things to finish it, though, and to stay on track. A lot of the times we know what to do, but if your mind isn't in the right state, it's really nearly impossible to finish the challenge. Mm-hmm. And challenges is what's going to up-level your life and get you to maybe a goal you want to reach, or just a little more fulfilled, or...
You need to stay committed to yourself.
Yeah.
Committed to wanting to change and grow and actually transform, because you can. The potential is there.
Totally. It just takes, and sometimes too, maybe all you need is a little guidance or, like I said, accountability. You can always reach out to us.
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're just typical people with a little weirdness, a little bit of quirks, who just like to do fun things that we think are fun anyways. Exactly. But with that being said, too, we do have another challenge coming up. And I'm not going to sing my song I made up for it because it's super annoying, but it's sketchy. Yeah. I might sing it. But if you want to do 100 reps for us for 30 days, we start July 6th. Yeah. Invite to the Summer Sweat Facebook group. We're going to support each other to do it. And often, like, you know, maybe that's just the challenge you need to be inspired to do more.
Yeah. So what it is you pick one thing, like sit-ups, push-ups, burpees, crunches, whatever you want. Hula hooping, I don't know, whatever you want it to be. Right? And you do 100 of them for 30 days. So I'm doing handstand hops.
I'm going to do some sit-ups because my core is always the area I don't really like to work because all this running, my hip flexors are super tight. Yeah. But it's going to help, and I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to do it.
Exactly.
We're going to crush it.
We're going to crush it. And it's really going to be cool to see the growth over the 30 days. Because I know for me personally, my personal handstand has lost its strength over the past 4 months because of quarantine. And it's time to get back in action.
Yes.
And commit for the summer.
Commit, challenge, change, grow, transform.
Everything.
All of the above.
Exactly. And with that being said, it's not all about physical here. It's also important to challenge yourself mentally. So you could pick something that mentally challenges you. And those are usually the things that are harder to deal with. Like we were talking about the meditation and journaling, that's hard. So going within, challenging yourself that way, like speaking your emotions, dealing with the shit you have, going to a therapist, journaling, all of those things are ways to challenge yourself mentally.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just putting yourself out there, like being vulnerable of, you know, I remember, and I still sometimes get scared to do this, is like, you know, social media, of sharing something that's personal to me, or a picture, you know, selfie or whatnot with something that's personal. But deep down, I feel like this is something I have to share that maybe will help one person. So it's a step out of comfort zone that just, you know, adds up to more things of like, hey, I can do this. It wasn't that scary. I helped a person. That's awesome. So, yeah, it's just it's all just about stepping out. If like it feels uncomfortable to you, I just like really baffled that word, uncomfortable, do it. Yeah. Like if something scares you,
you're doing it right.
Yeah, that's a sign that you need to keep doing it. Like if you don't get a little bit nervous, you're too comfortable. So every day, try to do something that scares you, something that maybe you don't think you can do, and then you do, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm a star.
I'm a friggin' star.
We just did a video on being stars. So anyways, any final thoughts, any final pointers to wrap up with?
No, I'm just going to say my favorite quote that I have is, your life begins on the other side of your comfort zone.
I love that.
It's my favorite quote because it's true.
Well, it is so true. So get uncomfortable, challenge yourself, and transform your life with us.
Yeah. Join our challenge group July 6th.
Talk to you guys soon, and bye.